Okay, how does Acton prepare children for the real world? This is something that is so essential to the way Acton was designed and how we execute. Everything we do should help prepare a learner for the real world, and everything we do should have some kind of real world application. So we have currency in the studios called Eagle Bucks, and this currency is earned by showing responsibility. You earn currency, and then you have more freedom. You can spend your currency for additional privileges, learning opportunities, experiences, sometimes for additional, outdoor play, free play time. And I kind of alluded to it, but the principle there is when we show increased responsibility, we have increased freedom. And that relates to everything we do as adults. The more work we do, the more responsibility we show, then it pays for itself. I was going to say a word like dividends and realized I shouldn't say that because I will use it incorrectly. Maybe I'll look it up. So that's one example. And the one I kind of want to focus the most on today is the idea that our studios are designed to mimic a professional space. Now, when I say professional, I don't mean that the heroes wear suit and tie or anything like that. But the way that we act, the way we present ourselves, the way we interact with each other should be of a professional manner. So sometimes when heroes are not acting professionally, then it gives us something to reflect on. So a little background on why we use the word professional. First, because it does relate to the real world. Secondly, the word professional doesn't have, there's no judgment or emotion based on it. Where sometimes, especially in settings with children, certain types of behaviors are called bad or good. And we want to kind of get away from that at Acton, because if a behavior is bad, it means that it's impacting others in a certain way. But if we say that's not a professional behavior, automatically they're connected to why it matters that they act professionally because it impacts others. And without saying any more than the word professional, that idea connects to their future, that they are preparing, they're at Acton in their childhood years, preparing for something that goes beyond that. So automatically they're connected to the idea that started all of Acton, that they are a genius on a journey to find their calling and change the world. So the way they act and practice every day at school should be preparing them and looking towards that next thing, a bigger thing. And so that's why we act professional. So sometimes there are cases where we don't act professional. A hero doesn't act professional, and they can be asked by a peer for an eagle buck, kind of get a fine. They can be asked to a peace table, and that's when two heroes come together and talk about what they disagreed about and how it impacted them and come to some kind of a collaborative decision about how they're going to move forward or how they'll handle it next time. And then sometimes heroes earn a strike, and that's kind of the system that we have in place as guides and owners, that we say, whoa, that was not professional. This now needs a conversation with your parents to come up with different strategies. And you come back and present your strategies to your studio, and we try again. Sometimes in the culture, there can be a permeation of unprofessional behavior or attitudes or language. And sometimes it just kind of spreads slowly at first and quietly. And all of a sudden we're like, whoa, we are serious lacking in professionalism. So there can be something called professional development circle, and a guide or hero can call the studio together and say, okay, this is a professional development circle. I saw this thing happen that isn't professional and doesn't honor who we're trying to become at Acton. So reset, We're going to interrupt the behavior and then try again. And that's a way to quickly and without shame and without pointing a finger. I mean, it'll probably be clear, but it isn't there to shame someone. It's to talk about who we are, what we're committed to, why we would want our studio to be a place where we're not rollerblading or throwing a basketball, a football across the room. Not that any of those things are bad. Again, we don't put a label on it, but that this isn't the time or place for that. This isn't a professional way to act in our learning environment. And there are other places and times to do that, which is a lot of fun. So professional development circles, Eagle Bucks, peace tables, all of these things and many other examples help prepare a young learner for real life after they leave Acton. Everything we do should connect to a real world example. Having contracts, having communication with someone that you are in a disagreement with, working to earn an Eagle Buck, to earn Eagle Bucks so that you have a currency to spend. All of it relates back to increased responsibility shown equals increased freedom. And that's how we're able to offer freedom to the heroes, because they realize and learn through this process that freedom isn't actually free. It's earned through a show of responsibility. And as they show responsibility, then they're able to be trusted more. They trust each other more. And the most beautiful part of all is they come to trust themselves. And that's where that confidence comes from. So we say confidence, character, and real-world skills are what your child will gain at Acton. And it's that confidence that comes from learning to trust yourself to do hard things. And when you fail, and you will, and we love it, that you fix it, that you own your mistakes and you fix it. So all of these opportunities to practice professional behavior or not practice, and then remind yourself what you're committed to and who you want to be, where you're going, all of that is part of the learning design and how learners at Acton use their time there to become prepared to thrive in a professional world. One other thought I just had is often when people come to our studios, they comment when they come for a visit. Often they will be greeted by a child who puts their hand out, shakes it firmly, and says, "Welcome to Acton," or "Welcome to Discovery," or "Hi, my name is Johnny." Professional behavior they are practicing every day as part of a greeting that we do at Acton. So that's one thing, is they're greeted that way, and then they comment about how the young heroes confidently carried on a conversation with them as though they were equals. And they are equals, but often young people won't engage with an adult with eye contact in a dialogue. Ask them about their life, be curious about them, share something about their experience. And the heroes at Acton are practicing this all the time with each other and with guides and then with visitors. So again, one of those evidences that they are gaining in professionality and real world skills that really matter happens because they practice every single day. And then someone coming in sees it and just is amazed because it's so much built into who they are and what they practice every day. There's so much communication happening. They get to be very excellent communicators. Yeah, I was just reminded of that example of what people see and experience when they come to the studio and how they're impressed by the hero's confidence and their ability to communicate clearly, and they desire to communicate clearly, even with random adults who come to visit. So come visit. If you want to sign up your child for a visit day, they'll get to come and have a running partner and be part of it. And if you want to come experience a bit of the studio for yourself, we have introduction meetings a few times a month, and probably be having more soon. So reach out to us. We'd love to meet you and love to see if Acton is a place where your child can come practice and learn to be professional with us.